Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Oasis.
The entertainment Oasis.
It's been a while. It's been a rough 2 weeks, but we're
Yeah.
back in the saddle. It's looking like an Oasis again. All right, look, courtesy of Clueless Mclane, we got a nice little background here.
Yes, we got anime. We got graphic novels. Well, comics, graphic novels. We got
Switch games,
movies, and a light.
A light. We might get another one. But anyway,
Back to the topic.
Are you able to see my face?
Can you trust that it's really him?
Can you see his face?
Is it really me?
So, if you haven't guessed already, we're going to be talking about deepfakes. Yeah, this technology has gotten pretty damn crazy.
Yes, it has a bunch of fugazis out there.
Fugazis?
Fugazis, fakes.
Okay.
Fakes out there.
Yeah. Okay, well, to start, for the most part, I'm loving these deepfakes. I'm all for it. I really like the comedic value that it brings to the table. We recently saw some, I think it got popular on TikTok with Tom Cruise. We saw a few of them. I don't know why Tom Cruise particularly started going off, but I know he had a recent meltdown with his crew, telling him off about how they weren't wearing masks and stuff. So maybe
crew deserved it.
Yeah, hey,
they deserved it.
Maybe that's what triggered it, but it's just gone. It's
given us so
viral.
much gold, especially on YouTube.
Yeah.
I know the one I enjoyed the most was with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
Taking the place of John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell in Step Brothers.
Oh yeah, that one was really good.
That was. I enjoyed that more than I should. But there's so many out there.
Yes.
There's Mike Tyson as Oprah, Nick Offerman as everyone from Full House.
Tobey Maguire as Tom Holland in the newer Spider-Man movies, which kind of tugged at the nostalgic heartstrings.
As, Iron Man.
Oh man, yeah, they're doing some really creative stuff with it. I think I even saw one. I want to say it was maybe a year or two ago, where someone did one on Donald Trump, as if he was making a speech about the relationship between Canada and the United States. And quite honestly, if it weren't for the fake hair that guy was wearing, it looked so much like Donald Trump. Some of these look hella good, really good. And with that can come some abuse.
Yes, and prior to the new ones that are circulating on TikTok with Tom Cruise, I had no I didn't see a need to worry because you could obviously tell they were deep fakes. Yes, you could still see their face in it, but it was just so apparent that it wasn't the real thing, and I think that's part of what added to the humor of the videos. But with these Tom Cruise ones, I found myself actually second guessing. It's there's no way that's not a deep fake. It's really him. It was just so good.
It looked so convincing,
dangerously good.
Ridiculously convincing. And the person, I guess, who was imitating his voice, damn, that guy should get. Hold on a second. Yeah, that guy was doing a pretty darn good job of imitating Tom Cruise's voice and his mannerisms. That it just added to the illusion. It was really well done.
And I guess once you get past the humor of it, I think that's when the scary part came in, or hit me, and I was whoa, it's getting a little too out of control.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think, and I know other people who deal in I don't want to say security because I think that's the wrong field, but in
people who deal in the legality of it all, of using people's images and likeness, you mean?
Well, that and maybe they are security experts, but I imagine they would be concerned given how this technology can be used for fraudulent purposes.
Yeah.
Or maybe even criminal purposes. I know one of the articles I was reading was mentioning that with how impressive these deepfakes are getting, it's not out of the realm of possibility that a criminal with the know-how on how to create a deepfake can make up his own alibi. you know? And that's kind of like, it's troubling to know that someone can commit murder and deepfake a video to give himself a pass or an alibi as to like, no, that wasn't me. This is where I was at, and maybe just get security footage. You know,
if he presents a video trying to defend himself, I would think and I would hope that video would be easy to I guess to prove that it's not real, that's not authentic, that that they're using a deepfake. But I don't know who's 100% sure about that.
Yeah, especially with the Tom Cruise one. I mean, that one looks so convincing. Imagine one where you really don't need like crystal clarity, like a security camera footage or something.
Yeah.
Maybe it might be easier to pass it off there. I don't know. I don't know too much about these deepfakes, but you know, it can really be used for nefarious purposes.
Yeah, and what I was also thinking was, I mean, like I said, some of these now look very convincing, and let's say if someone decides to pull, a bad prank, and they, while using a deep fake of maybe like a celebrity or something, they make very ugly remarks, or they do a very ugly action, and some people might think it's the actual celebrity doing it, and in that instance, people are going to start directing a bunch of insults to that celebrity, a bunch of harassment, and I mean, then maybe a little bit later they'll find out that it's fake, but the harassment that person received for that deepfake was very real. Like, what if someone got really angry and threw a brick through that person's house, or vandalized their car because of a deepfake that wasn't even real. So I know that's kind of an extreme exaggerated case, but I have no doubt that something like that can actually happen.
I mean, come on, there's a lot of misinformation out on the internet anyway that a bunch of random people believe. So
of course,
who's to say that they won't see a deepfake and think, oh, this celebrity, what a piece of trash, like, look at what they did.
Yeah, it's possible they can just click the video, watch it, maybe they don't even read the description that it's fake or something, and they just act out on emotion right there and then, and go do something crazy.
And even if you present them with the facts, I know that there's still going to be some people who dispute it, and they're like, no, that's really them. And it's like, no, there's just people who don't care about the evidence, don't care about the proof.
And that's when things can get really dangerous. It can get dangerous for the person who made the deepfake. It can get dangerous for the person's image that they're using, whether it be a celebrity or whoever. And then, of course, the person who decides to act out on it, it's like starts harassing them or whatever, and it's like, hey, it wasn't even me, it's fake. Then all of a sudden that person gets like, kind of gets the harassment thrown back at them for, I guess, not really checking to see if it was real or not. So
yeah,
that's when things like this can get kind of out of hand. And
I mean, it's only a matter of time before there's like a deep fake sex tape involving a celebrity.
If
the quality is gonna be anything as good as the Tom Cruise ones, a lot of people are gonna just take it at face value and be like, wow, okay, this person had their sex tape.
And that video with the Tom Cruise that we were seeing were on TikTok.
Yeah.
That's like some guy on TikTok made that damn convincing Tom Cruise one. So can you imagine what other people who have even more of a savvy understanding on this technology, what they can pull off? And then even a small production company, what they can do?
Yep.
So the possibilities are, oh man, they are endless.
Because they can go both ways. Like, one of the things I think of when I think of deepfakes is, oh cool, well, for Black Panther 2, maybe they can use this technology to give us like a good farewell to Chadwick Boseman. Like, whether it be his character died heroically protecting Wakanda, or maybe he just set out on an adventure on his own, like a spiritual journey, just at least being able to see him one last time as Black Panther and then go off into the sunset. I think that, like, the idea of them using this technology to accomplish that, it excites me.
Yeah, and it can help the fans get closure.
Yeah.
On the whole thing, provided of course they get the family's permission and all that.
Which is another thing. Like, I wonder if, like, let's say maybe Marvel does decide to do that, would they need the family's permission to use his likeness?
I would think so. I would think so.
This whole deepfake situation creates so many questions that at the moment we don't even know what's legal and what isn't. Like, is something as like the Tom Cruise TikToks, are they allowed? Like, is it considered fair use, or can he be taken?
Can they be taken down? Like if Tom Cruise decides, like, you know what, like, he gets in contact with his legal team and says, I don't want them to use my image, I don't want them to use my likeness.
Yeah.
Can he? I don't know how TikTok works that well, but like, I know in YouTube it's called a copy strike. Like,
copyright strike? Yeah.
Can he copy strike people from doing that? Can he claim any monetary value? Like,
can he take them to court?
Yeah. So.
Because they can, like, depending on maybe what the type of video is, I imagine that they could claim that it's damaged their brand, their reputation.
Yeah.
And maybe they could seek some sort of compensation because they are using his likeness, and they're essentially making the public believe that Tom Cruise is doing something that, really, it's not really him doing. So it's
especially in the pornography realm. Like, if you start using you start using deepfakes, like, on celebrities doing that, and that can like really cause a stir. Like, maybe some people really think it's them. It's like, oh no, it's really that person, and they're just trying to backpedal and cover up, like, oh no, I didn't actually make that.
Yeah.
So
it has the ability to tarnish a lot of reputation.
It does. As ridiculous as it may sound, that's how good this technology is starting to get.
Yeah, and I know there are programs out there. I know Microsoft has a program that can help detect deepfakes, and there's this other company who does the same.
But how many people are going to actually, research to see? You know what I mean?
I would imagine this would be used more like maybe like in court cases, if it ever comes to it. Like, but it's one of those things where the software uses, I guess, tell signs that maybe to us, like, we won't be able to see. Maybe they're invisible to the naked eye or whatever. But these softwares, they can they can scan the video on a deeper level and check for discrepancies, check for the common tell signs of a deepfake.
And that's what I'm hoping that they would use, like what you mentioned earlier about the whole someone trying to create a fake alibi.
Yeah, but as the technology progresses, or people just get better and better at it, are they going to be able to fool these systems from detecting that it is a deepfake? Because I think some of these will give you like a percentage, like between 0 and 100% that it's a deepfake. So there's a possibility for it to even be like 75% or even 99%. Then that means that there's a chance that someone could craft a very great deepfake and have it slip under the radar, Yeah,
that's very true. And as technology improves, like, if security improves their technology, but so do the fraudsters. It's like it becomes like a catch me if you can type deal. Great movie, by the way. But for the most part, like, going back to what I mentioned earlier, like, I am all behind, like, this whole deepfake thing, like, as far as like comedic purposes and all that, and not just like for comedic purposes, but like, for instance, I think it was in Iron Man 3. They had a flashback of when Robert Downey Jr., he was in, I want to say, college. He was like a kid, maybe like 19, 20 years old. And they made him look a lot younger for that scene. And I think they used maybe not fully like a new face, but like some form of like deepfake technology, CG on his face to make him look younger. And I really love stuff like that, because that means, like, let's say if they bring back a movie from like an older franchise, say like, I don't know, like Predator or Alien or something, they can bring back a younger looking version of, say, Arnold Schwarzenegger or Ripley. What was the Sigourney Weaver? Yeah, Sigourney Weaver, and make them look how they did back when they were in their prime, for like maybe like a small cameo, or like a scene that lasts a couple of minutes. Stuff like that. I don't know. Like, I just kind of geek over that kind of stuff. I love when they do stuff like that. So in that sense, I'm very excited for it, on what they can do. I think the most recent one I guess I saw was the Iron Man one, and then when I first saw it was, I think, in Terminator Salvation, when at the very end, like the
younger Arnold.
The younger Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator came out, and I mean, of course, it didn't look as good as stuff that you can do now. But I was kind of like, oh wow, they tried to pull that off. So
yeah,
it's an exciting time.
I'm all about deepfakes as long as they stay where they were prior to the Tom Cruise TikTok deepfakes, where you can tell, that it wasn't really them, but it was still like you could still see the act, like in this like the Step Brothers case, you could still see Sylvester Stallone's face in there, and it looked somewhat convincing, but like
at the end of the day,
it wasn't enough to fool anyone,
At the end of the day, you can see the outlining of like you can kind of see the outlining of the face.
I'm all about those particular deepfakes where it just, the fact that the face is there and it looks good, but anyone can just tell it's a deepfake. I love those, 'cause, I think that's the safest route to keep it at, or the safest realm to keep it at, for comedic sake though. For comedic sake,
these new Tom Cruise ones got you shook, huh?
It's, you never know like what they're gonna put out there, and it's just, I worry about the potential for bad that it has, the better this technology gets. And I'd rather just stay at this level where we can use it for laughs,
So you're already thinking it's going too far, huh?
Yeah, because then imagine though,
possibilities.
Imagine if, and this is like conspiracy theory, like out there, like stuff. But what if governments start using these to frame political rivals?
Oh yeah, well I mean that's like the most extreme case.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I mean,
but
when it comes to technologies that governments can use, like, I mean that would be something like ridiculous to pull off, like to fool an entire government.
No. I mean the government themselves utilizing, like, for instance.
Oh, to fool the public, you mean?
To fool the public, or try to incriminate someone that they might see as an enemy of the state. To try to get their agenda accomplished.
Well, yeah.
It's
possible. It's a very out there thing, but it just.
I always like to think of all the possibilities, though.
Anything's possible.
For someone to say they would never do that, you don't know. There's corrupt governments out there who might utilize the technology now, and it's. I always like to be of the mindset that it's a possibility.
Yeah.
Whether it's very likely or not is a different matter.
Yeah.
But if anyone with a corrupt moral compass was in power, who's to say that they might not use it?
Yeah,
hopefully it never comes to that, though.
They're counting on that, though, too, for you to say, like, oh, that'll never happen. And in reality, they're like, good, keep thinking that.
Yeah, like they say I wanted to get Nathurow fired, I'd be like, look what he was doing the other day.
Look at him. Look at his OnlyFans. Look at it. Look at it.
That's clearly him.
Oh, man.
But on that note, we hope you guys enjoyed our little topic with deepfakes.
Deepfakes. Let us know what you think in the comments. Do you think, do you agree with him in that, like, that whole thing where it looks like them, but you can clearly tell it's still fake? Do you think it should stay there? Do you think it should go even further? Just what do you think about them in general? Let us know.
Oh, and by the way, I'm actually Nathurow. This is a deepfake right here. No, it's not. But it'd be cool. How cool would it be if it was?
I know, right?
That would be so awesome.
Oh, man.
But no, sadly, we don't know how to create them.
Or do we? Face swaps. But anyway.
On that note, y'all have a great rest of your day. Stay safe and please come back to the Oasis.
There we go. The Entertainment Oasis. Peace out, guys. Did you ever try to steal my face?
It'll be like Face Off.
Yeah.
But I'll be John Travolta. You could be Nicolas Cage.
Damn it.
Yeah.